Hi, I'm Maarten,
And I'm Sven, and today we're going to jump in.
Pega 88, here in Experts Checking the Box.
Let's go.
Alright. So Sven, what's your first impression of Pega 88?
Yeah, well, my first impression is like look and feel isn't changed that much. I think under the hood, there have been some changes, but I don't think this is radically changed. It is a patch version, so it is logic, but I don't think that much changed. But we've got enough features to cover. So, but what's your first impression?
Yeah, I think the same. So, but you see some handy things just from the side, because if you look at what's new in Pega 88, it's quite some features probably now that I have to look a bit further. But let's say for the core work, and let's say creating case types, data types, and from what I see on the screen and in the portal, I see some improvements, but more like evolutionary improvement to the 8.7.
Yeah.
So I must say maybe that's also good. So if you upgrade, it's not UI or the core is not that much different. So
and a lot of features that are new are based on constellation. So we've had those features in the legacy UI and
UIKit
Team Cosmos, and now you've got them in Constellation as well. So
yeah, that's the way to go. All right. Yeah. So let's start with the first thing which I saw with Pega 88, and that's that you have to. There's not a personal edition anymore, but you have to start using the community edition, and it has been there for longer. But I think currently there is no personal edition. So let's maybe go on support and click on, I'll put my screen a bit, ooh, that's quite big. Let's do it a little bit smaller. I don't know, nothing happening, Sven.
oh yay,
Oh, it has come.
trouble in paradise.
Let's load the software page. Yeah, I think most people are used to downloading the Pega Personal Edition. You run it locally.
Yep.
Let's see if you click it now. It's still the 8.7 version and not the 8.8. So what I read about it is that it's not yet provided. It's not really clear if it's coming for or not. And it seems that it's also getting harder because now the Personal Edition would run on, or it's now deployed with Kubernetes and not with EAR or WAR deployment. So I think maybe this is the way to go. I don't know, but let's see. So if you click on the Community Edition, you have to sign here. What I saw is because I already requested it a few days ago that each time you land here, you actually have to go to My Trials. Which is not totally intuitive, but I don't know. So
yeah, that's different from the personal edition, of course. That's on your laptop.
So it's loading up.
So first of all, what do you think the benefits are from the community edition?
Yeah, it's running online. So let's say normally what you don't see now, by the way. Actually, this morning I had to wake up, just like me.
Yeah.
And it takes around 2 to 5 minutes. I can't show it now because it's already woken up. But the thing is, also when you also have loading time and you run the personal edition, you have to start it up locally.
Exactly.
But I think the easy thing is, or probably the thought process is, you don't have to install it, which makes it maybe a bit more easy for most people. I think. Installing the personal edition, I must say, I didn't find that very hard, but when it's just on the cloud, it's easier.
And I think it saves you a lot of gigabytes.
True, but I have sufficient. So, and then I continue to trials using, I think, the single sign-on of Pega to go to the environment. So let's let it load.
Well, that's actually quite nice. You can have the single sign-on. I also saw that you can have a dedicated account, but I used the single sign-on and it worked perfectly.
Yeah, probably I didn't use it yet from users. You might, when I already create the application now, test 8.8 application. I think the first time when I get to the cloud or the community edition, I had to create an app just like you would do with personal edition.
Yeah.
So that's the same. You can people. I think from here I could add extra people to your application. So that's the difference with personal edition, or you have to open your firewalls, let people access, but it's not really easy. Now I can say great you. I'll not type your full address, otherwise everybody's gonna spam you.
Yeah. So, but this is a big difference, right? So you can do your proof of concepts in the cloud with other people. I think that's very nice. But I also read that this environment was only up for like 30 days or something. So
yeah, true. It's 30 days. You can extend it for 15 days. I think that was said if you're doing exceptional, you can also request it to be extended.
Yeah.
But I thought the more pragmatic way is that you just export the stuff you have, and then by the time it expires, you trigger a new community edition and import your stuff there again. So now you're able to just do a regular export of your software.
Yeah.
So
wow, that sounds doable.
Yeah. So but still, I must say I don't know. I would say performance-wise, it's okay. Runs pretty well, although I think I would think the advantage of personal edition is when it runs locally, you have to influence how fast it runs. I must say on my old laptop, and I know from the last recording your laptop together with video recording was also not that fast, so I would say in that sense it's comparable in terms of performance.
Yeah. Is it also possible to defer on settings like database settings or node settings or things like that?
Yeah, I haven't looked into that yet, so maybe we can check it out today. And by default, by the way, when I created the app, you didn't have the two other portals, but you're able to also community edition to change or update your access group at the extra two portals in the group. Where is it? So I added the PX Admin Studio and the Prediction Studio. So I was able to do it all. I think you can also just create what you said, just non-SSO users and non-single sign-on users. So generally I must say it's okay, but still I feel I'm missing the personal edition a bit, I must say.
Yeah. I don't.
Maybe I have to get used to it. So,
I think it's nice. It's nice.
Alright, or background music stop. I think enough about community edition.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one.
So one thing that's new in App Studio is the developer assistant. So you can click on the icon, the wand icon, and the developer assistant is shown, and this thing helps you to make your application better and more robust. It helps you with Agile Workbench, it helps you recording videos, taking screenshots, knowledge articles, and checklists. So let's do them one by one. So the first tab is guidance, and what you're seeing here is like all the guardrail warnings that are in your application, and you have to solve them to make it more robust and make a better setup.
And I think they were already there but never presented, I think, in this way, or I think in a landing page, but it's good that it's now more integrated into this on the right panel. Yeah,
it's much more approachable and combined, so you can easily access this information.
It's interesting, by the way, I created just the application, didn't do that much. We have quite already 19 warnings.
So out of the box things aren't that stable anyways, but okay.
I created some stuff.
Oh, you created some stuff, okay. Sorry, so, they didn't said that. So the second, it's like knowledge articles. I don't know if you can add some knowledge articles yourself via the knowledge base. Do you know, Maarten?
Yeah, probably yes. Didn't check the background. I know it's always coming from a rule, so you're always able to do something with it. But it's I think quite interesting. This seems like new. So integrated help with what you're doing. I think this could be quite powerful if you, especially for new developers or general knowledge. Normally you always have to click on, for example, actions get help.
Yeah.
If this is might be, I think for now it's quite static or with the App Studio, but it might be quite powerful.
Yeah. Especially when you can add your own articles and work with citizen developers and things like that. This might be very handy. The next step is work, and what you're actually seeing here is an integration with Agile Workbench. So you can have your user stories here, your bugs, your feedback. It's also possible to record your screen or take screenshots.
I think this whole thing, it used to be another icon, I think, where you directly open the Agile Workbench.
Yeah,
it's integrated here into the developer assistant.
I think in Dev Studio it was in the bar on the right bottom of your screen, right?
Yeah.
It was something like something from Agile Workbench.
Right, we'll do this later.
And the last one is checklists, and these checks are done to improve your application. So if you click one, there are some suggestions that you have to do to make your application more robust. But also a little bit of governance.
Yeah, to me they don't look new, because I know you can find them. Or I'm working in 874, my project, and it's already landing pages, or you can also get to the guide. So this is also now integrated into the developer assistant. For example, now from the security checklist, that if you run a pipeline, which is checking the security, you also need to check off all the checks and actually make sure you have a safe application, secure application. But it's I think an existing guide, which is now more integrated into the developer assistant.
Yeah.
So I would say generally my feeling is that it's good, it's integrated, but it's would be good if in the next versions it gets extended a bit more. So maybe also the more help or contextual help. I don't know if that's the case, but it seems to be a bit static. But it's that's more dynamic, and I think would be a good guidance toolbar. I see some possibilities here. Are you?
Yeah, especially when you're talking about case context or something. Then you have to add those knowledge articles yourself. Yeah, maybe we have to do a deep dive into this this feature.
Yeah, interesting to explore more. And also, if you have some other thoughts, let us know. Alright, I think enough about
in the comments below.
Maybe good shape before I forget. I don't think I could find it in the time I had in the Dev Studio. So I think it's also more, App Studio is also more focused on what we call citizen developer, or more business, less tech savvy person who's working on the application. So I think the thought process is that someone who's in Dev Studio doesn't need developer help. I'm not sure about that always, but maybe it's somewhere hidden in the one of the landing pages. Didn't find it. Yes, enough about developer assistant toolbar.
Yeah, let's move on.
That's if you get to the App Studio, one thing that's new is that you directly see the Guardrail score. I think it was possible to click through earlier on. But I think it's good, it's now really directly in the screen. Also when doing deployments or as developers or everybody working on the application, I think it's good if you also see the Guardrail score directly. So and it should be above 95, so we're still good to go. If I switch to Dev Studio, I must say you still see the guardrail warnings, more the details, but you don't see the score directly. I think that should be also good if that's directly integrated into here on the Dev Studio, especially for developers would be good. What do you think?
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
All right.
But for me, the most important is the introduced by you block. I always keep that in mind. And if there is a severe warning or something, I always look into that. So that's quite a start. But I think the percentage of guardrail score would be nice to have in this landing page. Yeah.
Maybe an 882, because it's good to see where, if you want to know which version you're on, you click always on the right corner and it should pop up. 881, so this is the first page. So
yep.
Right.
So we moved to the Dev Studio, and one thing that is new is that you can enhance data pages with more security. So it's now possible to add some privileges to run this data page, and this can come in quite handy when you're working with sensitive information, like you're pulling data out of an external system, but it's very sensitive information. You can now put on some security.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now. Maybe I'm not able to run it anymore.
Yeah, who knows?
But I think seriously it's pretty powerful because data pages are the way to go to load all the data.
Exactly.
So if you can double check if you have the right security before you're able to load it on the screen, I think it's a good thing.
And I think I also read that it was possible to to do the same on I guess it was views or sections. You can also put on privileges there, but that's for another time.
Yeah, but now it runs. So we actually added a privilege which I don't have, so a big error on the screen, but so it's working.
So it's working, and it's quite easy to implement, right?
Useful stuff.
Yeah, that's very useful. So, next topic.
Yeah, so one thing I want to show is the tables, the case audit trail, but before getting there, I wanted to point out if you just what I did in preparation is create a case and a data type, and not that much different than it used to be, or I didn't see explicit new things. But what I saw, I don't know if that's specific to 8.8, that the personas and channels that you could add can also do it separately without directly combining them with one of the stages. I think previously that wasn't possible. So let's run a case. And what I also saw, it's now React based, but that's it was also already in 8.7.4. But at the need to log in again. That's community edition, so.
What a hassle. Yeah. Well, that's
keep on recording. Maybe I'll. That is a bugger. Is it now not? Is my trial sleeping? Let me check back how this works. Community edition. So maybe it's fallen asleep. That's interesting because I was
we're working
actively
on it.
using it, but that's an assumption. Let's see if it's woken up. Otherwise, it's going to take us a few minutes. No, it's ready. Interesting behavior. All right, I will continue to trial, and it's also, I think, the perspective of our video series. This is stuff that can happen.
Real life Pega. Yeah, but that well.
Alright, I'm logged in again, so that's
didn't
good.
take that long.
No. I'm going to the demo again, to my demo case, and I'll hit save and run. Creating the case. This time it's happening. That's the case. So there's a small create screen. I'll get to the extra field here. That's I configured that as primary field. That's the other feature I'm going to show. That I'm just typing some text in, and what you see also screen. This is, I don't know if this is new. You can also do a time field. I just added some lone fields in, just simple. Looks so good. And I can also look at my history, or where is it? You see my history?
I think on the dots, dot menu.
No, I think yesterday I was seeing it, but maybe it is the. I'm not sure again. Where did I leave it?
Oh, history. Yeah.
It's when I click pulse. Oh, you don't see when you click on details.
Ah, okay.
When you get pulse, you see also the history. And last time we checked fields history, can also be there.
This is different.
Yeah. You see the screen, I must say, loads very well with, I think it's React. It's a React-based application. You see.
Oh wow.
It's quite smooth, huh? That used to take
longer. And fancy. Yeah, this is a good one.
Very fast. I think that's also for the whole UI. I must say, the loading is pretty smooth.
Yeah.
And I wanted to show about the details because you see the loan ID. What I did yesterday is also to configure some primary fields. That's a new option. If you click on case types and click to the demo, you can have primary fields on your on the data model. There's this new option for primary fields, and I think that's every time when I start creating an application or at some project, first thing you want to do is show the core fields, your primary fields. On the UI in the details tab. Now that's what you can do here, so you can select an extra.
Okay. So that will save you time developing all the other features like review harnesses and stuff like that, or?
Yeah, definitely. Like it's also being used. What I read, but it's in React. It's now primary fields are quickly used to put on the UI. You see the create screen is already. I just selected one field to be primary. And it's already here, so that makes it easy to
nice.
Do that.
And I also read that primary fields, there was some feature with reporting that primary fields were, that you can add primary fields easily to a report. But I didn't dive into that really, but
something we can still do. Then do for the next time.
Yeah.
Alright, so I showed the primary fields. And also, the smoothness of the table, the UI. So I'm quite happy with that. Yeah. And I think we're not gonna demo everything, but I think a few extra points you definitely wanted to mention now.
Yeah. This in Pega 8.81 you can retrieve data from external systems in a list view. That wasn't possible before, but I think that's quite handy feature. Another thing that's quite useful is that you don't have to relog when you change application with a different UI architecture. So, for example, you use one application with the constellation and one with UI kit. Then normally you had to change the application and relog. That isn't necessary anymore. So that's quite a quite good enhancement.
One thing about the first point you made, you said list view, because I'm old school Pega. You used to have like list view and summary views, which were deprecated and then became report definitions. But I think you're mainly now talking about the UI part, which is list view.
This was also new for me. So in App Studio you can have list views, like tables and stuff like that. But you have to source them, and that's what I meant with source them with the external data.
Yeah.
So here you
people working along with Pega might be a bit confused with the term list view.
Exactly. I was surprised as well. It was quite a hassle to understand App Studio when you're familiar with Dev Studio, so I had to find my way.
Yeah.
But in the end, things are more simple, but you have to know where to click and what everything means in App Studio. Yeah.
All right, we've come to the end. We looked at a few first things of Pega 8.8.
Yeah.
Of course, more to start exploring for you, but also for us. But let's get to our expert judgment so far. So you're the experts checking the box. Sven, what's your expert judgment on the 8.8?
Well, I would say, like in the introduction, there's nothing that changed that much in your regular work, but there are two features that I'm really excited about, and that's the developer assistant. I think that's a quite good enhancement, and that you can do more about security when using data pages. Yeah,
that was a handy thing.
It was very handy. I think it's coming in very useful. So yeah. So overall, if we're doing a rating between 1 and 5 stars for this version, I would say give it 3 stars.
3 stars, nice.
Yeah. And you, Maarten, what's your expert judgment?
Yeah, I'm a bit the same. So not very original, but I would also say for me, no, I will give it 4 stars. So I must say, it's just like a first impression from the first sight or from the UI working in the portal. So just some handy improvements, not very new things, or not like major things changed in the portal.
Yeah.
But I must say, the UI, especially the end user UI, but that's also already with React. That's not specific to 8.8. But I like the direction where Pega is going with that. It's faster, and we saw the case history table. That's I think very nice, the way it performs. And probably there's a lot of extra features, but we didn't have time to dive into them now. So maybe for a next one. But I'll give it 4 stars.
Nice.
Alright everybody, thanks for watching Experts Checking the Box. Today we checked out Pega 8.8 with Sven here in the podcast studio in Utrecht, which was quite a new experience for us. So I hope it's useful for us. Any last words from you, Sven?
Yes, thanks for watching, and I'm quite happy to be here in Utrecht, making use of this studio. It's far more better than in my living room, so I'm excited.
Yeah, good experience.
And thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Alright, bye.